The most important thing is to stick with the cold hard reality in terms of evidence, argument, leverage. What are the facts here? What's the backstory here? What do we have to contend with? What are we out to accomplish? Remembering that all of these terms are problematic. They're not straightforward, definitional. These are living terms. These are experiential terms. These are terms that only have relevance to the particular individual involved, the particular situation, particular payoff, the backstory, the hidden premises. The thing has to be looked at from so many different perspectives, so many different angles. Frame, reframe. But most importantly, it has to be tested out, formulated in such a way that it can be questioned, challenged, tested. It's a proposed template for action, just to get the motion started, just to get the action started in the arena out there where it counts, where you're going to get the feedback, where you can start that feedback loop going. And that feedback loop is fluid, it's continuous, it never stops, it's not static. You choose to stop it when you want to get leverage on it or you want to make a decision. But you have to realize you've abstracted it, you've pulled it out of a circle of continuity that keeps on going. One now becomes another now. When you pull the now out of the continuum to look at it, to analyze it, to frame it, remember one thing. That now is continuously going. New problems are coming up, new perspectives, a lot of things that are going to prove your conclusions to be limited and faulty. The trick is to know when to act, how to act. Timing, distancing is very important. Anticipation, reading the situation. Everything depends on that. Everything is negotiation, sales. Everything is argument, evidence, personality, appearance, marketing. Everything is predicated on a maturity, a flexibility, adaptability to the nuances that keep changing. Everything depends on the interview. When you're talking to the woman, you're in the interview of your life. She sees you, she hears you, she looks at you, your posture, slouching, whatever you're doing, your height, your proportions, how you smell, my friend, body odor, halitosis, whatever. All of that comes to play, and then after all that's done, sooner or later you're going to have to go out into the arena. You're going to have to test all this out and see what you got going for you, see where you stand. It's just like entertainment, nightclub entertainers said. You got to get out on the dance floor, take and rub belly buttons, and take and see what you got going for you. You can't do it in talking and abstraction. You got to get a little bit physical and see what kind of feedback you get. And that's where the fear strikes. particularly if you're a short, small, out-proportioned man like me. Then the fear strikes. And he's got to give way to the competition. He's got to yield when he's outclassed by the better man who looks better, who talks better. Remember prerogative. No means no, and no is said so many different ways. No can be negotiable if you're a pretty boy, if you got the height, you got the hair, you got the experience, you got the personality, then you can negotiate. But if you look like me, you better respect no means no. Period. Period. And you always have to give that woman every opportunity to say no to you and to get away from you. So that means you don't crowd her. You keep a distance. Never, in my opinion, reach out and shake a woman's hand. Never do that. Never touch that woman. Let her initiate the handshake. Some women, a lot of them don't want to touch you. And when I say you, of course, I include myself. They repulse by you, my friend, your physical appearance. It's about time somebody called it out and told it like it is. Start the discussion. The biggest lie that's ever been told is that the woman is compassionate, that the woman is nurturing, the mother instinct bullshit. Don't fall for the biggest lie ever been told. The women are capable of making very hard, ruthless decisions. Particularly when you're offering nothing by way of physical appearance, by way of material backup, by way of connections. Then what are you worth? That's all you're worth, my friend. Don't let anybody fool you. All you're worth is the observables. The way you look, the way you behave in the here and now, in the situation. Your phenotype, that's your body type. Your continence, that's your facial structure and expression. That's your posture. Again, the phenotype, slouching, projected head, the height. The height's a very big factor here. And I'm a short man, I'm saying it, I'm calling it out. The height's a hard one to overcome. If you're short, somebody should have told you, you better get in the shape of your life. You better become physically fit, strong. Don't listen to anybody that tells you you can build a contest physique when you're driving iron. Don't believe that. Don't put that kind of pressure on yourself because you're going to be defeated in the gym. Everybody's going to look better than the short, small man. Short, small man like me, my proportions are off. No! You train for brute strength to get as strong as you can performance-wise out there. It's not what you do in the gym. It's what you can do as a result of what you're doing out there in the real world. Fighting, moving things, lifting things, pushing, core strength, brute strength, strong grip. Build your will, fortify your will in a hot crucible. Somebody should have told you that. You have to look in the mirror. Now we can cam ourselves from every angle. And you have to be ruthlessly realistic when you take stock of yourself. You don't take stock of yourself to run and hide, to alibi for what you're seeing. Some say to the short man, hey, don't look in the mirror, short man, because you're not going to like what you see and your confidence will be broken. I say, bullshit, look in the mirror. Want what you see, and then say, this is the hand I've been dealt. You have to begin with, I could never have this. When he looks at the woman, I could never have this. The competition is too horrendous. There's too much of an imbalance. I could never have this. He starts with that. And then he writes down every bit of evidence that demonstrates why he couldn't have it. In other words, he prosecutes himself ruthlessly. He is his hardest prosecutor. Much tougher than the worst bully out there, the worst mock idiot out there, the clown who loves to insult and brand people, to get advantage and leverage over them, to take away their confidence, etc. You have to know that in advance, and you inoculate yourself by training hard. If you want to get big, if you want to get strong, if you want to get powerful, you got to drive iron, but you got to do it right. But if you want to be functional, you've got to build the core. You've got to build the flexibility, the fluidity of motion. Forget the aesthetics. Forget the pretty boy physique. Forget the posing physique. Let's build a rugged, tough, brutally strong physique. Strong grip, strong punching power, grabbing, pushing, pulling power. Let nothing be an excuse, because that's the bottom line. That's the foundation of that building. Building's worthless if the foundation's no good. You always come back to that foundation. And you have to build yourself, train yourself to take a beating. That's right. To handle, because you know, as a short man, you're going to take it out there. There's no question about it. There's always going to be somebody who's going to hit you on your height, hit you on your appearance, hit you on your proportions. Wherever you go, if they don't say it, you'll see it. You'll see and feel the powerful, ruthless physical rejection of the women. And you've got to stand tough to it. That means you have to be unembarrassable. You have to be totally desensitized. You have to have some hard bark on you. That's called getting ready. That's called being prepared. Or watch yourself spiral downhill. Watch yourself take a terrible beating out there. Everything has to be formulated, tested. There's no way you take anything for granted. You test it out. You question it. Look around. Don't be a sucker. Check what anybody tells you. You check it out. Don't trust anybody. You check it out unless they've proven they can be trustworthy by performance. Specific place, specific time, specific performance for specific amount of money. You clear all that out in negotiations. The more hard work you do in a negotiation, the less you'll bleed in the performance. That's ethics. That's ethics. Regardless of what heritage that Tea Party right individuals tell you, the ethics has to be practical. It has to be individual specific. And it has to be relevant to your situation or it's worthless. There's no such thing as virtue, as the absolute good, as a guide to your choices of behavior. That fails right on the face of it. It doesn't even get past muster in the simplest street test, field test.